Salentica CRM is integrated with Microsoft Outlook via an app that is provided for that particular integration. Once you've installed the app, you'll be able to see a new selection of buttons on your Outlook interface, as well as on the left side in your navigation pane, you'll be able to see access to the CRM directly inside of your folder structure. So this is one way to actually log in or access your CRM households and contacts and other entities. For activity management, the ideal place to do that is from within Outlook. So Outlook has three types of handshakes to the CRM on different activity types. So one is email. So the Outlook emails that you send can be tracked in the CRM. The Outlook emails you receive can be tracked in the CRM. The second way is to track your calendar, so your appointments. And the third activity type that Outlook and the CRM synchronize on is tasks. So I'll take you through each of those. The fourth way that the CRM and Outlook interact is with the synchronization of your contacts, so people within your Outlook folders. So for email, sending and receiving email is straightforward. You're initiating a new email, but with the intersection with the CRM and Outlook piece, you can now start to track those conversations in your CRM. So you'll notice my button bar appears in my email window. So as I would have normally done, I'm going to start typing an email. I want to track this email inside the CRM. And you'll see I'm just using my auto type. I can dive in and use what's called a CRM I can use a CRM address book. In this case, I'm just going to stay with doing my auto type. And now what I want to do is I want to make sure that the CRM understands that I want to track this email. So what I'll be able to do here is either just simply hit track. So track just says the CRM is going to create a copy of this email on the contact record that has mbest@salentica.com in it. The other option I have is I want to track this email not only to mbest or Melissa, I want to also associate the email to another relationship in the CRM, and this would be one of our client relationships. So I will be able to use this feature here called Set Regarding, and what Set Regarding says is you get to choose how that link is made into the CRM. So you can see here there's a couple of records that are what is called memory in the CRM, so there's up to 10 records that are displayed here for frequently used records. If I don't see the record I want to link to in this list, I can dive into the different entities in the CRM, and that's simply clicking in the Find area. So what Set Regarding lets me do again is to associate this email to another record type for somebody who's not on this thread. So in this case, I want to email Melissa. I'm talking to Melissa about a current relationship, so I want to do the Set Regarding to that relationship in the CRM. So now you'll see in my preview pane down below, visually I'll see this is a tracking email, and it'll be tracked once it's sent. Now the responses can also be tracked inside of the CRM automatically, or you can have user preferences to not auto-track the responses. So there's a variety of options for users to set what their preferences are. Another note, when you track an email and it's now considered to be a CRM email, I have access to what's called a sales literature library. So what sales literature is a library of marketing materials that your organization has uploaded into the CRM, into this entity called sales literature. And it now lets me capture and provide things like PDFs right inside of my email. And this now lets me track who did I send a particular piece of information to. So now I'll be able to go to the sales literature entity and be able to see the list of contacts who have received this particular document. So now when I'm ready to send my email, same as before, I would just click on my send. If I forgot to do the tracking initially on my before I hit send, I can always go in and select an email and track it. So I can go into my inbox, let's say it's an inbound email, I want to start tracking it, I can use the track or Set Regarding. If I sent an email and I forgot to track it, I would simply go into my sent box, select that email, and follow the same procedure to either track and or set the regarding. Now I only need to click the set regarding button and not both track and set regarding, because with set regarding, if I am using a secondary record, it will automatically track that email to the person in the to line or the CC line. So that's email. Moving on to my calendar, the same idea. I have appointments and meetings in my calendar. So my calendar can be used for my recurring meetings that I have internally, but it also can be used to track my client appointments or my prospect appointments. So what I can do here is I can create a new appointment or a new meeting. And depending on whether or not I want to send an invitation out, I would select the appropriate option. But what I'll also see now inside of my appointment screen is my CRM associations. So in here I could say I'm going to meet with the Clarks. And I don't send an invitation to the Clarks, but I do want to send an invitation to a colleague. So I want that person to be in the meeting, but I want to again associate this meeting to the activity list in the CRM for that relationship. So now I'm starting to build up all of the touch points for those relationships. So the tracking then says we're going to go ahead and store that appointment in the CRM, and I've indicated which is the appropriate record to store it on. So typically we recommend those types of appointments are stored at the household level. The CRM does a nice job of aggregation of activities for us. What I can also do is, now that I've tracked this appointment, I might have some segmentation I'd like to do on the appointment itself. So maybe we have some CRM fields that I would like to categorize into this appointment. So I have an option to actually look at CRM fields to further categorize the appointments, and maybe it's an appointment type you're categorizing and so forth. So this is an example of not only tracking an appointment to the CRM, but also sending an invitation. So again, because this appointment is being tracked in the CRM for the Clarks, it will also appear on the contact record that has mbest@salentica.com. And so the same way I would use my calendar for sending invitations or just putting placeholders on my calendar, the nice thing is now I can use this tracking mechanism into the CRM. And then the other thing that is nice about Outlook, of course, is everybody now knows the history for the meetings with that client because it's now centrally located in the CRM. But I also take advantage of the nice features of Outlook to have my pop-up reminders that I've got appointments coming due and so forth. So you'll see the reminders now. I can take advantage of those. The third way that Salentica CRM and Outlook interface would be via the task list. So the tasks are an activity for to-dos, and again, I want to be able to track those activities in the CRM. And I also could have non-tracked tasks in the CRM. So I can track tasks which synchronize to CRM, or I could simply use my task list for my non-CRM items. So the same as before, creating a new task, I can simply create it from Outlook, and then I would associate that into the CRM in the same way as using the set regarding. Of course, I can do my assignments and all those action items that I would normally do with my tasks. So you can see here I have a task, and now the CRM will create a copy of that because I've chosen to set the regarding record. Oftentimes, your users in Outlook will be recipients of assignments of tasks. So what that means is someone might be in the CRM having created a task right inside the CRM record, and what that will do is it'll push out to somebody's Outlook task list. So if I create an appointment, if I create a task for Melissa in the CRM for the Clark record, once Melissa's synchronization happens between the CRM and Outlook, she'll see this new task appear on her task list. So those are the three main ways that activities integrate with the CRM. As I mentioned, there are user settings to control what those synchronization rules are. So I have a personal options area to help me manage the data flow. So one of the tabs you would go to see that information would be the synchronization tab. And then you're defining the filters and the entities that are syncing. So you can see here, I have a list of the active and inactive activities to be syncing between my Outlook and the CRM. So you can see here things like I'm synchronizing my tasks, my reoccurring appointments, my phone calls. So there's a new activity type in the CRM called phone call or interaction report. That'll synchronize out to your task list. So you'll have a nice call list to track, and you'll be able to take advantage of those pop-up reminders that you've got a number of phone calls to make, appointments, and so on. So as a user, you can come and define which are those active filters that you want to have syncing over into your Outlook client. And then when you are synchronizing data, you can schedule the synchronization. So the push from CRM to Outlook, in my case, would be every 15 minutes. So the last way that Outlook and the CRM interact would be on the synchronization of people or contact data. So when I take a look at my Outlook contacts list, I'll be able to see a list of names that are CRM and non-CRM names. So CRM names with that icon, the two-headed icon, non-CRM names with the regular file card. So I can keep my dentist and so forth, my personal contacts, commingled with my CRM contacts. So what happens with this is I've synchronized based on a filter to say these are the contacts that I care about from CRM, and they will push into my Outlook contacts list. And then when I make a change, say that I add a new phone number for this particular person, that phone number will push into the CRM for me if that is something that I would like to do for synchronization. So Outlook contacts will synchronize two ways once they've initiated from the CRM. So once that pull has happened. And then as you can see, they just commingle right on my list. If I create a brand new contact in the CRM, if I create a new contact in Outlook, I can also track that contact in the CRM. So those are the main ways that the CRM and Outlook interact. So again, email, appointment, and task. And then additionally, you can synchronize contact data based on a filter of data that you prefer. And those are all managed in your own personal Outlook settings. Thanks for your time today.